Hey everybody, welcome back to Fab Daddy TV. I am your host Fab Daddy. As you can see, I'm out here in the shop at Fab Daddy Garage. If this is your first time with us, welcome. Glad to have you with us. If this is not your first time with us, well, we got nobody to blame but yourself. Anyway, I've been teasing you guys for the last several days about a big thing coming to the garage in Buford, and I'm going to share that with you now. So if you're ready, there's Buford, and here is the new power plant I'm putting in Buford. If you're curious what it is, no, it is not an LS. What this is this is an 8.1 liter, 496 cubic inch big block. They started putting these in trucks, I want to say 2001. Ran them for several years, then they got bought out. PSI bought the design, and then they started punching them out to 8.8. But anyway, this is a 2004 8.1. As you can see, it's got a little bit newer technology on it than the old school 454 that I took out. But this actually, like I said, this is not an LS engine. What this is basically an old school big block bottom end, and with a more modern LS style intake fuel system and stuff. But like I said, it is not an LS. It's not considered an LS. It's considered a Vortec. Sorry about all the noise. It's really nice weather out, and everybody's out on their motorcycles. Kids are out playing, dogs barking, that kind of stuff. Anyway, as you can see, it's got a lot of modern stuff similar to an LS. It's got fuel rails, fuel injectors, coil packs on the valve covers with a short spark plug wire. But again, not an LS. Shares a lot of stuff with the LS. The wiring harness, once you cut it down to the parts that you need, it actually is almost identical to an LS. As you can see, this one came with, the main harness here. It's got the fuse block that was set on the fender of the truck, as well as the most important part, the ECU or ECM, the engine control module or engine control unit. That is very important because you can't do anything without that. This harness back here actually goes to the transmission. I'm not going to tell you what the transmission is because that's another surprise that I'll reveal probably next week. But anyway, as you can see, it's got a lot of harness here. As you can see, I got some new Brunt work boots on. This harness, basically from, I think, about here out, is all like headlight harness, headlight, turn light, all that fun stuff. So that can go bye-bye. There are guides out there. If you do a project like this, there are guides on YouTube and online and stuff to show you how to take your harness and cut it down, pare it down to only the things you need. There's a lot of stuff on here that you don't need, and they can guide you through what to cut, what pins to pull, move around, that kind of stuff. Or you can just go online and look. There's a place called Howell Precision Wiring or something. I remember the Howell part. I don't remember the rest of it. Where they have a harness unique for your engine. You put in what you want. They have a harness. It's less than $500. So I think that's the route I'm going to go, just to be quick and easy. Plus, if you look at my harness, like right here at the throttle body, there's a broken wire here. It looks like something's chewed on the wiring here on the, I believe, number 1 injector. And there's just some other damage here and there. So to me, yeah, I could fix all that, but by the time I get all that done and I'm, not so sure of myself, I can just go ahead and get a new harness. There are a lot of similarities to the 454 that came out. For instance, we'll go down here and look at the motor mounts. This is the motor mount that I took off. As you can see, it has I'm pointing at the back of the screen, you can't see. It has these 4 holes here. They mount to these 4 holes here on the block. But if you notice these 3 holes, this hole, which was used on the original one, and these 2 holes line up with, you guessed it, the old clamshell motor mount. Very easy. The only difference is between this engine and the old engine is this engine is all metric, and we've talked about that before, about different engines and stuff in same vehicles. The truck being, or the vehicle being standard and the engine being metric. Well, in this case, this whole engine is metric. Another similarity is, or somewhere else you can reuse parts off the old engine, is the starter. The starter bolts up here. There's the 2 bolts. Here's the starter I took off. Look at that little itty bitty thing. Pretty small, right? I'm gonna guess it's a what do they call those? High torque. The problem is it was so rusted that when I tried to take the electrical lines off, both terminals broke off. But as I said, this old one that came off of the 454 will bolt right up and work with the same flywheel. Like I said, as I was taking stuff apart, there's the broken stud, which I'll get it out eventually. But as you notice, which we've talked about in previous videos, as I'm taking stuff apart, I'm labeling it all so that I know that, hey, these 2 plugs go to, I believe, the air conditioner. This one goes to the NOx sensor. This one goes to, this one, the purple one here, you can't even see. This one goes to the starter. This one goes to the oil level sensor here on the side of the oil pan, etc. And as in previous videos, as I take stuff off, I label it and mark it and stuff. Now, one thing that you cannot reuse off of this engine in the square body truck is the stock exhaust manifolds, which is kind of unfortunate because these manifolds actually flow really well. These flow better than some aftermarket headers. But you have to take them off because they will not fit between the frame rails of a square body truck without having to remove part of the upper lip of the frame rail. Something else that absolutely has to come off is the AC compressor. I don't know why there we go, zoomed out a little bit. From here, it doesn't look that big comparatively to the one that come on the 454. But as you can see, it sticks way out the side of the engine, and it's right where that frame rail sits. So this has to come off. As you can see, I've already got it loosened up. But there are aftermarket brackets that can mount it right up here out of the way, so you don't have to cut your frame rail. What else was there? Oh yeah, we're talking about the exhaust manifolds. The old school exhaust manifolds that came off the 454 will bolt right back into place and fit within the frame rails of the truck, so you don't have to modify. It's tight, but they'll fit. I'm going to go ahead and get some headers. I know a guy that's I'm gonna go get them next week. They're from a Chevelle. They're a long tube style header that will actually fit down between the frame rails of this truck. Thanks to a lot of other people that have done this kind of thing before. That information is readily out there. So that's basically it. I've already made a couple other videos using this engine. This is actually the second time I've made this video because I tried it with our new fancy camera and it did not turn out very well. So I just came back out here using my phone. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover. Yeah, so anyway, this engine from the factory was rated. The reason why I went with this engine instead of just rebuilding or building a new 454, the reason I went with this engine is because this engine from the factory, like I said, basically bolts in. Slight modifications are needed, but that's to be expected. From the factory, these engines are rated about around 300-ish horsepower. 350 horsepower. 440 pound-feet of torque, I believe, rated from the factory. Actually, guys have run these on the dyno in stock form, and they're pushing closer to 400 horsepower with 400 and I think high 400 in torque, especially down low. Down low, they make really good torque with a good tune in the engine control module, which you'll have to do if you do a swap like this because of the theft prevention stuff that's in there. You have to get all that turned off in the ECU, and while you're in there, you might as well just put a good program in it. So there's guys that have reprogrammed the ECU and thrown a set of headers on, and they're making 400 horsepower plus and monster torque. Another thing to do is this intake, which I know my throttle body's gross because I think it just sitting out the moisture. Anyway, it's going to come off. If you look at this intake, after the throttle body's off, it kind of goes in. It goes in and then goes back to the back and then has to come back forwards. So it's kind of restrictive. So there's a mod where you take the intake manifold, take it off, flip it over, cut the bottom off of it, and then clean up around the right in here behind the throttle body, and that opens it up and yet again gives it more horsepower. So then, more air. So if you give it more air, need to give it more fuel, so you can upgrade the injectors to some higher pound injectors. And really, this guy's the limit. There's guys that are throwing turbos on these stock engines and pushing over 500 horsepower. There's some videos online of Lawrence LT, I forget his last name, I'm sorry. He used to host trucks on the Power Block on TV. Anyway, if you look up his videos, he shows like he just threw a big turbo on it, and it easily made 800 horsepower on a stock engine. There's a lot you can do these engines to make a lot of good power. Anyway, so that's the plan for now. Like I said, I've got another big announcement coming probably next week as to the transmission we're going to be putting in this truck. And it's going to turn this into a towing monster. So, which is what I'm building it for. I'm not going for horsepower, spinning the tires or anything. I need something that will lug my big camper, as well as hopefully a future big car hauler trailer with me. So that's where I'm at. That's what's happening. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. If you do, please hit like and subscribe. If you want to hit the little button down there somewhere, the little bell icon, so that when I post a new video, you guys will know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys next time, and I really hope you guys are out, guys and gals. Sorry, don't mean to exclude anybody. Hope everybody's out there in the shop building something cool. If not, get out there and find something. See you guys.